The Jets seems like the biggest no-brainer of a trade partner. But another trade partner has emerged.
By God, that's the 49ers music.
Rumors floating around. Pretty Ricky on Twitter. I'm not overly familiar with him. I've seen him break some news here and there that's been correct. Pretty Ricky 213. Rumor. The Raiders are a team interested in trading for Brandon Aiyuk. Aiyuk knows Antonio Pierce from Arizona State. Here's the fun part. The Raiders would send Davante Adams to the Niners in any trade. Davante has no real money on his deal after this season. So, those of you not familiar with Aiyuk, he's last year of his deal coming up. Wants to be paid more. The Niners have crazy payroll with all their amazing skill players, some good defensive players, and he's demanded a trade since they're not dealing with him. Now, in fairness, I think it was the last two that a kicker, like a receiver or something, in the last few years that demanded a trade, and they didn't. The Niners just waited and re-signed him. So that's kind of been the Niners' MO. Really good front office. I hate to say it. Really good front office there in Santa Clara. They know how to handle their guys.
Yeah, for sure.
But rumor, the Raiders are interested in trading for Aiyuk, and they'd do a swap with probably there'd have to be some compensation in between. But Davante Adams, 31-year-old, for Brandon Aiyuk, I think he's 26. It makes a lot of sense. The Niners are a Super Bowl contender. They're in win now mode, while Brock Purdy is still in his rookie contract. We're hopeful the Raiders are going to play fantastic, but I think it's pretty safe to say that we're leaning more into the, second, third year of Antonio Pierce's run and maybe not so much this season. Tell me it makes no sense, Soto.
No, I mean, a lot of things have to happen. A lot of things have to fall into place for that to happen. And this is why these conversations are tricky, because is it likely to happen? No, it's not likely to happen. What we're discussing are the ifs. What has to happen for this to happen, right? What are the things that have to fall into place for this to happen? And a lot of the listeners will think like, oh, these guys are dumb. That's never going to happen. Well, I mean, we're not saying it's going to happen. We're saying if it is to happen, these things have to happen first.
Here's a report, and here's our analysis of it.
Yeah, here's our analysis of it. We're not saying it's going to happen. We're not saying it's not going to happen. Actually, I'm saying it's extremely unlikely that it happens. Because he's going to want to get paid big money. And, is that what you want to hang your hat on offensively? Brandon Aiyuk, a guy who wasn't even a number one receiver on his own team.
Well, I would sign him. I'd sign him to a 4-year deal with you'd spread it out. He's young enough where it's like,
yeah, but he was offered $26 million a year and he turned it down.
Yeah,
he's going to want 28, 30 on a guy when he was the number one target. When Debo went down last year, they didn't win a game, and their offense was stagnant when they lost those games. So it wasn't like Aiyuk picked up the slack, right? Now, granted, Debo and Aiyuk are completely different receivers. They do completely different things, and the offense did have to change in order for the Niners to take advantage of what Aiyuk does better, and they're just not built that way. So there's that. But ultimately, we're gonna have to trade a guy and pay him $30 million a year, a guy that's never been a number one receiver. That's kind of tough.
Hey, you made it to the end of our video. Great job. I know you want more. Go ahead and click the next video. And if you're feeling crazy, go ahead and subscribe.